Hello everyone. Despite the fact that I'm a one-liner comedian, one of my all-time comedy heroes is not a one-liner comic. He's more of a storytelling and conversational kind of comedian. That comedian is Louis C.K. I was late into my freshman year of high school when I first saw him, and I was 15 at the time. Saw his name being mentioned in the comment sections on various comedy-related YouTube videos. He was being praised by all these commentators. So, after months of seeing all these comments, I finally checked him out and I was blown away. His comedy was not only funny, but was interesting, different, smart, edgy, and it spoke to me. The latter part was most important to me because I could relate to Louis' catharsis. I'm a very cathartic person due to my autism. Well, that's enough about me. Let's dive right into Louis. Louis C.K. is an American stand-up comedian, writer, actor, and filmmaker. He was born on September 12, 1967, in Washington, D.C., in the U.S. His comedy influences are George Carlin, Richard Pryor, Woody Allen, Larry David, Joan Rivers, Robin Williams, Steve Martin, and Bill Cosby. Louis first performed stand-up comedy in 1985 at the age of 17 in the city of Boston. His first performance did not go well, and he didn't try stand-up again until 2 years later. Louis moved up the comedy ladder in Boston due to the growth of the city's comedy scene. He performed alongside comedians such as Lenny Clark and Dennis Leary. He then eventually moved on to paid gigs. He opened up for Jerry Seinfeld and hosted comedy clubs. In 1989, his time in the Boston comedy scene came to end when he moved to Manhattan. Throughout the 90s, Louis wrote for Saturday Night Live, Late Night with Conan O'Brien, Late Show with David Letterman, The Dana Carvey Show, and The Chris Rock Show. By the mid-2000s, Louis started to transition out of the absurdist comedy that he was previously doing and into a more personal, cathartic, observational, and edgier style of comedy. Another change that he did was discontinuing all his current material and starting over every year. This change was inspired by what George Carlin would do every year. These major changes helped Louis become a hot name in the world of stand-up comedy, in the late 2000s, along with having 2 solid comedy albums being released during that time. Those albums being 2007's Shameless and 2008's Chewed Up. Louis would have continued stand-up success in the 2010s and would even have success with 2 comedy shows that he created. The first being Louis, that ran from 2010 to 2015, and the other being 2016's Horace and Pete. The year 2017 would put the brakes on his career when Louis was accused of sexual misconduct by several women, and a day after these allegations came out, he owned up to his actions and admitted to wrongdoing. I would like to note that I find what Louis did was gross and inappropriate, but in no way on the same level of what people such as Harvey Weinstein, Kevin Spacey, and Bill Cosby did, but I digress. After a year off the comedy grid, Louis would return to stand-up comedy with support and backlash. Ever since his return, he's released 2 comedy specials. These specials being 2020's Sincerely Louis C.K. and 2022's Sorry. Despite Louis' past sexual misconduct, he continues to have an influence on modern comedy and probably will in the foreseeable future. In all honesty, I'm interested and looking forward to what he'll continue to come out with for years to come. Well, that's all I have to say about our dear Louis. If you like this video and you want more like it, then like this video, share it, and subscribe to my channel. I'm Vaughn Wesley. Have a good one. Goodbye.